All right, I'm here with a special guest, very close friend of the family, where I'm excited that he's here in the office today. He actually brought me over an amazing gift, but let me introduce him first. This is Mr. Steven Saltzman. We actually call him Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve, you served in the military. What branch did you serve in?
Marine Corps Recon.
Man, I'm sorry that you didn't get a chance to serve in the U.S. Navy, but I guess the Marine Recon is not too bad.
No, it's better. It's a lot better than the Navy. I mean, we like you Navy guys. Y'all give us rides all the best wars.
So, when did you go in?
I went in. It was before the first Gulf War. Mm-hmm. So that was about 87.
87.
And as I was checking out, the Gulf War was kicking over, so I extended for the duration of the conflict. So okay. I went to with my team over to Desert Storm, and then got out right after.
Okay. So you done Desert Storm, and then I know you did a couple of more tours over out there. Part of another unit. What was that other unit that you were a part of?
It was called Blackwater.
Okay.
A contractors. We did high threat personal security for the State Department. Okay. And when the towers fell, I had to get back over there. I had to get, because I felt like the first Gulf War, we didn't finish. Yeah. And I like to be somebody that finishes the job.
There we go.
So when the towers fell, I was freaking out. I had to get over there somehow, and I even went as far as going to the recruiter, and I'm too old for that. So a friend of mine, he told me about Blackwater, that they were hiring, so I sent my resume in, and immediately they grabbed me up.
They picked you up.
Yeah.
And how many tours did you do with them over there?
I was over there for about 3 years.
Okay, 3 years. Well, I definitely want to thank you for serving our country and the commitment you had. So one of the pieces now that you're back, you're investing in giving back to the community, helping the community, and I know here locally you had a horse rescue, right?
Yes, sir.
How long did you do that?
For 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, it was for horses that had to be stalled up 24/7 with injuries to them, mostly leg, eyes, stuff like that they can't leave their stall. And the people didn't have the time to take care of them, so they'd bring them to me, and I was basically a nurse. Once the doc vet and the farrier got done, they were mine. Okay. And I took care of them. And every now and then the farrier, the vet would come in and check on them, but I would take care of them. So it was pretty rewarding. I mean, it was like some of the horses, it was their last chance, their last ditch effort to get them better, and I just made them as comfortable as possible. At one point I wanted to quit because I lost a couple of horses that I was really attached to. Well, I got attached to them all. Yeah. And then they explained to me, says, you're doing the horses a favor because you're giving them a good quality of life after, and if they do pass away, they're,
and giving them hope, right?
Yeah,
giving them some hope.
Yeah.
And I still remember going over to your house and seeing one of the horses and just the skin. I remember one of them had just the skin it looked like he was either burnt or just scraped all the way down to the bone. I remember seeing that, and you used to have to care for that.
Yeah, it was a cancer that they had to remove, tons of muscle and stuff, and it was just raw, right between his legs, and that horse was great. I would have to get up in there and scrape that every day, and he just took it like a champ, and
wow.
He did really good.
Good. So, and now you're transitioning back into using your hands now.
Yeah.
Now, and hopefully you're okay with me saying this, but being a combat vet and dealing with PTSD and dealing with these issues that a lot of our veterans deal with, and of course you were part of one of the veterans that we recently honored at our military veteran for Veterans Day, right?
Right.
And that event, we wanted to honor you because the stuff you do for the community. There's a lot of our veterans that return home, and sometimes they go into a bubble or they, go into that dark place. But it seems like that's a little bit of therapy for you giving back to our community. Yeah. Do you feel that way?
Yeah. And during Harvey, I have this incredible boat. It's a flat bottom boat, 25 foot. It's got a fan on the back, and I used it for 3 days and got over 250 families out of their homes.
That's huge.
Yeah, and it was like and people wanted, they were offering me money and all. No. I just told them, just return the favor. If somebody's in need, help them. It was just, I just wanted to do that for the people in this area because they were so hurt. And I was lucky enough not to get flooded. So.
And you were able to make it through all that water, even though you're not a Navy man and know how to handle the boat.
Well, I did spend a lot of time on the submarine and the ship, so a little bit of y'all rubbed up on me.
So Mr. Saltzman, today, part of your therapy is using your hands.
Yes.
And one of the pieces that you're bringing over to me today is this amazing piece here that you made from a piece of oak, right? Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about this piece and how long did it take you and where did you get the oak from?
Well, the tree came from my property. It had blown down in Harvey and it laid there for a long time. So I just cut it up into sections and it was just sitting there for a long time, and I started turning on my lathe, my wood lathe, and that gets me out of my head. Mm-hmm. Turning, just getting on the lathe is the best therapy I've ever had. So I went and grabbed the log and put it on the lathe, and I just started turning. And just like anything else, I put a log on. I don't know what it's going to be until I start turning it, and then the wood basically tells me what it's going to be.
So the wood speaks to you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I never know what it's going to be until I get into the grain, and it's just a real. It came to me real easy. I'm at a level at turning. I've just been doing it barely a year, and I'm at a level of, most people have been doing it 20 years.
Wow. So it's almost kind of like a natural instinct of yours working with this lathe and being able to create these type of pieces. So what other pieces do you create besides, just this amazing piece that you created here for me, and now I get to have in my office? And so when you come to Farmers Insurance, the Fidencio Leija agency, you get to see this amazing piece. So what else are you making?
I started off with pins, bottle wine stoppers, and duck calls. Start off small, and then I started going up, and I got into making burial urns.
Oh wow!
So I make burial urns for people, and what I'm doing is I'm going to start making urns for veterans. Okay. I'm doing the civilian. I'm going to have my price list for urns. Veterans get 40% off.
Wow, that's huge percent. 40% off.
Combat veterans get 50% off, and 50% of the proceeds that I make will go to a nonprofit veterans organization in the area in the family's name.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, so just a way to give back, because
And so, how many pieces do you think you've made in this 12-month period or this 1 year period that you've started? How many pieces do you think you've made?
Several hundred.
Wow. So duck calls, you're doing, these type of pieces that people, and so now one of the things we're shifting to now that we've been talking about is maybe creating a website for you, having your own logo, and again, how can people get a hold of you? So if there's a veteran out there or a family that wants an urn for their combat veteran or for just their veteran, or maybe even a family member, right?
Yeah.
We just recently had someone talk to you about maybe creating one for one of our family members in Santa Fe. She was telling you that she would like to have one for her child. She lost her child in the city of Santa Fe shooting, and she was asking you that if you could potentially custom make something for her.
Yeah, she wanted something just small so she could keep some ashes in her purse. Okay. Just something different.
Unique, something unique.
So I'm going to make her a really cool little mini urn. So that's what I do is I'll make the urn for say the wife passes away, for the husband, and they got 3 kids. So I'll make the main urn, and then I'll make 3 small urns.
Oh wow!
For the children, so we can put some of the ashes they can have. But yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the wood. There's so many trees out there. Which trees do you like working with, and which ones? The colors are probably different. The feel is different. Which ones the pieces that you've made? Which one stands out for you, and you just kind of like the smell or you like the feel of them?
Well, I like cedar, but cedar almost killed me twice because it comes apart. It's really soft. It's beautiful though. But I got to be real careful with cedar because it don't like me.
Okay.
But then I got I got at the ranch. This, what's the wood that grows out south? Mesquite.
Mesquite. Okay, yeah, definitely
Big
mesquite.
pieces of mesquite, and yeah, I like mesquite. In fact, the lady, one of our friends, Juan, and what's his brother's name?
Oh, Eric. Yeah.
Eric and Juan, their mother was born on the piece of property that.
Oh, wow.
And they cut the tree down, and I received it, and I started making stuff, and Eric asked me how much I'd charge to make her something because that came from. I said, no, man, I made her a beautiful vase.
Okay, and he's talking about Juan and Eric Garza. They're two brothers that they're actually part of our Team Leija Cookers. I mean, these guys give a lot of their time volunteering. So a big shout out to Juan and Eric Garza. But if there's community members out there or just families out there and they're cutting down their trees and instead of burning them, what type of wood would you want, and maybe they can deliver it or drop it off to you?
Oh, I'll even pick it up, but like oak. I just recently, Juan actually got me some eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus?
Yeah, eucalyptus.
Oh, wow.
It's not really native. I don't think it's native, but it's red. It's beautiful. It looks like a rose.
Okay.
And then you got the hackberry, which is yellow. And it looks like a yellow rose on the inside. It's beautiful. Oak, pecan, any hardwood.
Okay.
And even stuff that's been down for a while, because once it's called spalded, once it starts decaying on the inside, it's beautiful.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So even if they've had it at their home sitting there for a little while, you could still use it.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole different deal. It's way different look than that. It's beautiful.
Okay. So and we started talking about maybe dimensions or maybe the diameter. How thick are you looking?
Anywhere from about, I guess, 10, 12 inches across.
Okay.
To about 6, 8 inches across.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. So again, we have here Mr. Steven Saltzman, United States Marine Corps Recon. They did several tours to protect our families, protect our country, and make sure that we have what we have here in the United States, freedom. It's hard. Is there any last minute words you want to maybe share with our veterans, maybe that are out there battling that tough battle of PTSD, that are coming home? We're happy to hear that you found this therapy in making these type of pieces. Is there any advice you would give our vets that are out there?
Just find a group. It doesn't have to be with the VA. It can be separate from the VA. I go to a group called Transitions Plus, and it's just a bunch of veterans getting together, trying to transition back into civilian life, and anywhere from Vietnam all the way to present day.
Okay.
Find you a group. Don't isolate. I isolated, and I was almost one of those people that ended up taking his life due to just isolation and just living inside my own head and not accepting the help that was out there. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid to accept the help. But get in a group, a good group where you can just sit around and talk. It's the best therapy.
Absolutely.
And keep busy. Yeah.
Stay active, right? Stay active. And that's one of the things that we're doing with our organization, right? Operation Honor Our Local Veterans. There's a lot of services and a lot of programs that are in the big cities, right? When you start thinking Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, there's a lot of services and a lot of programs. But as we start moving to our area, right, the more rural, the more in suburbs, we don't see as much or as many programs, right? So we're happy that you're partnering with us with Operation Honor Our Local Veterans. We want to honor our local veterans, give them an opportunity to come out. We just did our Christmas event, right?
Yeah.
And we served a lot of people there. So again, we got Mr. Saltzman here. If you want to get in contact with us, you can reach us here on Facebook. Mr. Saltzman, do you want to give out your number in case they want to call you to donate some wood or maybe ask for a project that you can put together for their family members?
Sure, and give me a call or text me, and when I get my website up, I can also send you that information. My number is 281-846-8040.
All right, you want to give that to him one more time?
281-846-8040. And I'm trying to figure out a name for my company, my business, so maybe you can throw some suggestions in.
Hey, there we go. So, and if there's anyone out there that maybe they want to support a military veteran and they just don't know how, Mr. Saltzman's here. You could either maybe support him by creating him a website, maybe taking photos of his projects, maybe partner with him on marketing and advertising. Man, let's support our veterans. You know, one of the things that we talk about a lot is that we lose 22 veterans a day to suicide. 22, that's a lot. So if we could continue to support veterans like Mr. Saltzman and others, this is our commitment. We want to help each other out. Again, thanks, Mr. Saltzman, for being here, brother.
I want to introduce one more person.
All righty.
Come here. Come here. This is Kimber. This is my service dog. She is a very, very, very special dog. She knows whenever I'm going into my dark place, and she literally comes out and gives me a hug and kisses me. You know, just hovers around me. She's awesome. So that's another thing. If you're going through a rough time and all that, animals are great. Just good to get a dog, a cat, whatever. That just take care of them, and they'll give back to you way more than you give them.
And how long have you had Kimber, and how long and how did you receive Kimber?
Well, I got her from a breeder, and due to I'm 100% disabled, PTSD, not able to work, I'm able to spend 24/7 with her. So I trained her basically as a hunting dog, and then I saw that what she was getting cues about me fixing to go into my dark spot, you know, and then she was right there. I mean, she just was there for me, and she knows what to do to help bring me out of it.
And how old is Kimber?
She's 3 years old.
3 years old.
So, yeah, I got her registered as my service dog.
Wow, that's huge.
She goes
that's
everywhere
huge.
I go.
So again, there's the message from a combat vet, from a Recon, Marine Corps, a close friend of our family. He's telling you guys, those veterans that are out there, just remember, he's telling you and giving you some tips. Stay active, get involved, and if you have any questions, get a part of an organization or a group, and maybe you can find that hidden talent like Mr. Saltzman here creating these beautiful pieces. So thanks again, God bless, and take care.
Thank you.
Man, brother, that was awesome.